5 people.
As I unmuted, you whispered, "There's 5 people." Like, literally, as I unmuted you. That was so perfect.
Thank you. I was trying my best to be silly.
But you did it, like, literally as I clicked unmute. That was just perfect. Okay.
Yay!
Well, anyway, hi.
Hi.
We're doing a podcast, and that's Alex,
Yep, I'm Alex.
and I'm Bryn.
So we actually made a plan for what we're going to talk about today.
For once.
Crazy. Um, so we have a habit on this show of frequently talking about movies and or games or both. And we I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there is a big buzz around the Fallout show. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And we both watch Fallout. I don't play Fallout, but I
I
perceive
have
the Fallout
played
games as a concept.
I've played Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4. I think I bought an Xbox One to play um Fallout 4. Uh it was that or Fallout 76, like the release of Fallout 76. I don't know for sure, but I just remember being so excited to be there on opening day for 76. And then it was, a time. But lately I've gotten back into 76. It's been pretty cool. I like fishing. um and yeah, I've been
But I'm
watching the
also like a
show.
TV buff. And Bryn's been watching the show. I'm a TV buff. I'm not a game buff, but I'm a TV buff. And so we have a unique perspective when talking about this because I have lots of
Yeah,
opinions on what
so
makes good television.
unique.
I have lots of opinions on what makes good television, but I have not played the games.
And I know the source
Um,
material.
yeah. So we're gonna um we're gonna talk a little bit about that. I think Bryn, do you want to go first?
Oh
Unless you want
God.
me to go
You
first.
go first. You go first.
Oh, okay. Um, I I don't know anything really about the games other than what Bryn has told me, which
I've
is
yapped a lot,
like
but I don't know how much
little
you've
bit
retained.
little bits and pieces. And then I have this horrible bad habit of looking things up on like wiki pages when I don't know what's going on, which is terrible. You shouldn't do that unless you really want things to be ruined. Um,
Yeah.
but I did look up a lot of stuff about the vaults after the first season because I was like, oh, what do you mean there's more vaults? And then I was like, and they all seem kind of fucked up. So I did like a bunch of research on that because I thought it was interesting. And there was like a
Honestly,
2 week period
that's
where I was just reading wiki pages about vaults.
that's understandable. A lot of the vaults, like, I mean, there's only so many locations that they can make in or that they can put in any one game, and there's only so many vaults that they can make as locations before people get tired of wandering into vaults, you know? Um, but like,
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think, oh God, I'm blanking on vault numbers. I think Fallout 4's Vault 111, off the top of my head, is the highest numbered vault that I can remember. There might have been, a couple numbers higher, but like there are at least like 100 something vaults. Um, and maybe like I think 50 is a safe bet that you actually experience in the games. I don't remember. I could be entirely wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments.
um, yeah, I don't actually know the correct or specific number, certainly not. But I do know that I thought the vaults were the most interesting thing about the first season of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the first season of the show, the most interesting thing was like how many vaults there were, how they didn't know that they were, especially like Lucy's vault, which I guess, so this says spoiler free. We're not going to talk about spoilers for season 2, but to talk about it, I do feel kind of like we need to talk like about a couple spoilers for season 1. Um, just in like to provide context as to like why we both like the show. Um, and if you haven't seen season 1, what are you doing? It's been out for like 2 years. You're
Okay,
missing out on peak television.
not everybody has or wants to use Prime.
For legal reasons, this is a joke, but you don't have to use Prime.
Well, I certainly don't know what you could possibly be talking about.
Possibly be talking about. I know. Um, but anyways, so Lucy, and
Mr.
also I feel
Bezos,
like
I
this
know
is in the
you own the
trailers.
platform that we're streaming on. Please be nice to us.
Um, again, it's a joke. So
It was a joke.
I,
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
so for, but also the trailers have Lucy obviously as a vault dweller in the trailers. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, like this is not like some kind of major plot point that I am ruining for people, but I thought that that was the most interesting. Uh, in the first season, I thought that was the most interesting plot device of like the vault dwellers do not know that like the vaults are experiments, and then when Lucy goes out and
The vaults are
like kind
what?
of experiments, crazy experiments. Um, and Lucy goes out and finds out like how the world works and all this stuff. And she's like, "Well, it's not like that in the vault." And then like you find out in the first season that most vaults are not like her vault, right?
Yeah,
And
so
so
in the games, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of Fallout New Vegas, every player character, uh, and I'm going to regret saying this because I haven't actually played Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, but I know for a fact the player character in Fallout 1, and I think in Fallout 2. Um, but with except for New Vegas, all the player characters start in and come from a vault. Um, so everybody has their own, sort of situation that they come from. The majority of them, if I remember right, are, I swear to God, computer, I put you on Do Not Disturb. What do you think that means?
to make noise, obviously. I think that's the do not disturb thing is kind of objectively hilarious because I'll put my phone on do not disturb and that does not like I won't get calls from people that are like
hmm
actively set up in my thing to bypass do not disturb settings, but I will get a phone call from the scam caller like that will ring
That's
full
so
volume in the movie
stupid.
theater. Isn't it? I like if my parents were calling me or my friends or something in an emergency, it wouldn't ring. But like Donica asking about my health insurance is on full volume. Like, so I think that's just the system of using technology.
Apparently.
But
Um, but
but
yeah,
vaults.
so the player characters come from vaults that are shockingly normal. Um, like they're not. So the very first vault, or the first Fallout game, the vault that character comes from, um, they, man, I wish I knew more about the first two games, but I know that their vault situation for the most part was fine, except they were having issues with like water purification. Um, and so they had to leave to go try and find some way to fix that. Um, in Fallout 3, I don't know what the gimmick of that vault was, but I believe that's Vault 101. Um, their vault was pretty damn normal. Um, like, they had
In
interpersonal
the
squabbles from.
show,
Mhm.
yeah, some of them are like repopulation vaults, is like the way that they've like set it up, and then
So
others are like, but even the repopulation vaults tend to have a gimmick that's like connected to the
well,
repopulation.
that's
Because like
the
in the
Vault Tech.
show,
that's the Vault Tech shtick, right? That's what they say the purpose of all of them is for. Except for, the secret ones that are like Vault Tech VIPs and shit. But they might say that these vaults are all for repopulation or whatever, but every vault except for probably like a dozen has some experiment going on. Like, you know, we're not spoiling things. Um, so I'm not going to elaborate on any of the ones you see in the show, but vaults are
In the
never quite what they
game,
seem. Um,
my favorite one that I've did ended up doing research on was the one full of Garys, the Vault of
oh my
Garys
god, the
that just
Gary
cloned the
Vault.
same
That one
guy.
you do get to see.
Yeah.
That's one in Fallout 3. Um, the vault full of Garys. Love the Garys.
And the other
Um,
one I think that was the most interesting was the one where they purposefully left the door open and like created a bunch of ghouls.
oh yeah, there was at least
That
one of
was cool.
those. Um, there's shit where like they don't have proper like radiation shielding. There's stuff where just the production of like the interior stuff wasn't quite the best quality. Um, there was a vault where they filled it full of like people who were addicted to chems and like alcohol and stuff, and the whole concept was like they sold the concept as helping people recover from addiction, and they
And then they
also
filled it with drugs.
well, they also put like a secret like storeroom full of drugs, and like after a while they made it known that that was there, and that just devolved into an absolute nightmare situation. Um, there are vaults.
I do think
Mhm,
there's so many interesting things that they can and have. Like the one thing I love about Fallout as a show that I think is different from a lot of game adaptations is that because there one are so many games, but also even if they never and they just use the game as like base material and didn't actually use anything like plot lines from the game specifically,
mhm.
which they are, but they could not, right? And they could make a
Yeah.
completely different set of shows, or they could even do like a separate movie or something just based off of like the premise that these vaults are experiments, and someone could come up with a 90-minute film that's like,
Mhm.
here's one of these vaults. We're going to do 90 minutes on someone who lived in one of these vaults, type of thing. And
Yeah.
it could be something that doesn't even exist in one of the games. I think that's why the premise works so well as a TV show, and also why it works so well as a standalone thing. Like I was saying, I haven't played the games, but it doesn't matter because the concept is just so good.
Mhm. Um, so what one thing that I love that they're doing with the show, um, I don't think this is quite a spoiler for. I mean, it's more scene setting than a spoiler, but knowing anything is a spoiler. So like, I don't
Be
think it,
warned.
I don't think I feel like this hardly counts as a spoiler other than just, setting. Actually, I don't know that this is necessarily confirmed. I think it's heavily implied, but I don't know that it's confirmed. I don't remember what they say the date is in the show. But um the way I understand it, the show I think is set furthest in the Fallout world's timeline. Uh, the furthest thing out there compared to all the games. Like Fallout, the first Fallout game is pretty far back. The rest of the like Fallouts like 1 through 4 are, in that order. Like Fallout 2 builds off of what happened in Fallout 1, Fallout 3 is like on the other side of the country. Um but like probably like decades after. Fallout 4 is like a couple years after Fallout 3. Um New Vegas is between 3 and 4. Um and then Fallout 76 is a weird one. Fallout 76 is like 25-ish years after the bombs fell. So it's the earliest one, I think. Um, but uh yeah, I think that's the earliest one. But the show, from what I understand about the show, from just like observing things in the show, I'm pretty sure This is after everything we've seen so far.
I
So,
think at several points in the show they mention, and multiple characters mention this, so it's not. I guess it could be considered a spoiler, but it's really not anything. It's like a passing statement that gets made that, like you said, is like setting. They mentioned that it's been 200 years since the bombs dropped.
well, so for Fallout 3, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, and I think New Vegas, because duh, New Vegas is yeah, I can speak so well. New Vegas, it's Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4. Um, those are for sure 200 years after the bombs dropped. Um, I think Fallout and
They're also
Fallout
doing
2 are some amount of decades that's less than 100 years before Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4. Um, but 76 is like the closest to when the bombs dropped.
I know for a fact that they are trying to stage themselves closer to New Vegas, like narratively. Like
Yes
timeline
and
wise.
no. Yes and
But
no.
also they're definitely like and this goes back to like the standalone aspect of the show. They're really not trying to adhere closely to any like of the specific plots. Like they're
I mean,
kind of
they're
doing what
not
they did with
following
some
the
of the
plot
Silent
of
Hill
a
movies.
Fallout game. Like they are in the world,
Right.
but like they're not, you're not following one of the
But
main
they're
characters going through the events of Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4.
right. They're not doing like a Last of Us type situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and they I personally I think that's better, and that's part of why I enjoy the Silent Hill
Hmm.
movies is because they set themselves in the world of Silent Hill, but they don't adhere specifically to any Silent Hill plot of the game.
Oh
Um
boy, Silent Hill movies,
some of
huh?
them depends
You're
depends on
bringing
which one
those
you're
up.
watching. But they're not objectively good movies. I just like them. Um but Fallout I think is an objectively good show. I mean, I'm watching it with my parents who don't know anything about the games, and they are really enjoying it. And I mean, I knew of the games and things before I went in to watch it, but they are like, they love it. Like, I think the other reason I think it's so successful beyond just the premise of the games, though, is the writing in it is some of the like most entertaining, but also believable writing. Like,
Yeah.
it fluctuates wildly between you're in this crazy world where like people are like zombies and like walking around with getting their like
Hey, no, that's
limbs cut
insensitive.
off and things. I mean, they live for long period. I guess that's fair. It depends. It depends on how far gone they are as ghouls and things like that. But
There are
I
ghouls
mean,
that
we're
are
living
from
in a
pre-war. There are ghouls that got
well,
turned into
yeah,
ghouls like when the bombs fell. Like they're almost like
but
300
there are
year
also
old ghouls.
ghouls that lose their minds like within a couple months of becoming ghouls. Anyways,
That's what radiation does to
um,
you.
so it just depends. Some of them are zombies, some of them are people. It depends on how crazy you are. Which I guess
Zombies is
maybe you could
quite
make that statement about.
insensitive. How rude.
You could make that statement about other people, humans. But the premise is like very like almost fantastical. But then a lot of the character writing I think is really believable, especially
Hmm.
for like our um some of the main characters who are just so well developed. Like
Hmm.
they have really believable motives and
Yeah.
conversations, but it's also theatrical. It's not so realistic that they're just saying what actual people would say. It's still very tight in terms of writing, which I love.
Hmm.
And there's really good thematic stuff in it, which I can't speak to the thematic elements of the games so much, but the show has a lot of nonlinear storytelling and recurring themes. So like something will happen to one character in an episode, and then literally like in the next seasons it will be relevant again, which is so fun because it also makes each season entertaining and not just like
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't seen all of The Last of Us, but I heard some interesting things about the second season that people really did not like. So
Doesn't the
I
second season
know,
go into the second game?
yeah.
That's probably why people had complaints.
But most of the complaints I heard were had to do with the casting and less to do with the actual writing of the show. Um,
Are you sure
Although
that it was
people were
about
complaining about the
casting,
casting.
or were Last of Us fans being sexist again?
A little bit of both. I know some of it was the sexism, but it was also like I haven't played the games either, and I haven't seen the second season. So this is all me speculating, but I think it had something to do with the actress who plays Abby, um,
Hmm.
not looking appropriate. And not like in a sexist kind of way, in like a she's literally not buff type of way. Um,
Interesting.
Not that, yeah, it didn't have anything to do with how physically attractive she was. It had everything to do with the
So,
fact that her
like,
character arc didn't make sense for the way that the actress looked.
yes, and when Last of Us 2 came out, there were people being really stupid and shitty because Abby was, a big buff woman, and people really hated that. So I
Oh yeah,
wonder I
well,
wonder
people
if
just
the
hate
the
her
casting
no
choice
matter what.
was because of those complaints.
Right, but this kind of goes back to like what happens with like movies and TV shows like that all the time, which is that you shouldn't cater to incels. Like, come on, guys. If anybody has learned from that, it should be Star Wars, and we should all be looking at them as an example of like why you don't do this, why you do not do that, because it leads to bad television or movies. Um, but I like that Fallout also hasn't really done that. Like
Oh yeah.
they have a diverse cast. They
I mean, that's
have
what the games are
a
like.
black male lead, they have a female lead, they have like
Beef
people of all
jerky male
different
lead.
ages. Yeah, beef jerky male lead. They have oh, like obviously queer characters
Hmm.
like who are like under the trans umbrella in some kind of way, which is really cool. And I like that because I feel like if the world did go to shit, really who
Yeah.
cares at that point? Like why are we looking at people based on that? And they have such interesting like I don't know, the second season, and I'm not going to spoil anything, it just has some really interesting and fun casting choices with people that have shown up, like Kumail Nanjiani is in it, and Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone
Oh
kid,
my
is in
God,
it.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah. I
Yeah,
fucking cackled when I saw him in Fallout, cause like who left Kevin here? Why is he
right.
here?
And especially in the show, you're like, why is he doing that specifically?
I mean, eh, eh.
But
I think he enjoyed
yeah, and
playing
I
that
think
character.
I think Macaulay Culkin likes to play anything that is not typecast as that. And I also
Hmm.
I do feel sad for him as an actor because I feel like as with all child actors, he kind of got his career bullied
Oh
out of him by
yeah.
horrible adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's genuinely such a sweet person outside of I don't know him personally. Based on what I've seen in interviews, he seems like a really sweet person
Hmm.
outside of the industry.
He seems
Um,
like just a normal human person.
yup, like a nice guy.
Uh-huh.
Like like I feel like if I bumped into him on the street, it'd be like, "Oh, hi," and then I move on. Like cool, chill, you know. Um, but yeah, there's definitely some well, and I am a huge I say huge. I am an OG Twin Peaks fan, so I like the old season and the movie Fire Walk with Me. I didn't really love the second season of it, but
Where did we
Kyle
get to?
MacLachlan,
Oh, yes. Okay.
who plays another major character in Fallout, is the main character in Twin
Yeah,
Peaks.
yeah.
And this is such a different role for him in Fallout compared to what I'm used to seeing him in.
Oh, yeah,
And he's
totally.
doing such a fantastic job with it. Like his character in Fallout is just like skin crawling kind of good and bad. Like
Mm-hmm. He's so,
it's
so damn good.
like he's so creepy but also not. Like I don't know how to describe it without ruining things.
The kind of
Um
character he is and the kind of things he's doing are creepy, but he is acting like just a totally normal, rational person the whole time. But
and
also he's doing this
he's
shit that's like,
so fucked up.
uh-huh.
Like you kind of think that he's just he's so like nice about the way he's doing it too. Like it's all like horrible things he's doing. He's like politely like nods his head and is like, "But this is what I'm supposed to be doing," and like posh kind of American 50s voice, you know, and you're like, "What?" Um, and then the second season it just ramps up even more. And like I just genuinely think that they could not have gotten a better cast for the way that they have set this story up too. You can tell that they have an end goal with this and they're not just going to keep making seasons of it for the sake of making money, and that there's definitely some kind of like larger plot point that they're trying to work towards. But the nice thing about the show as well is that once they reach that nice like final plot point, they could theoretically make another season with other side characters or even the main cast and have them doing something new. And I love that. I love a show that has a strong arc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very good show. I have so many good
This
things
is
to
an
say about
ad.
it.
This is an ad for
God,
Fallout.
if only we were being paid for this.
Hey, Amazon, sponsor us?
I I and this is trying not to spoil things. Like once the full second season is out, we're going to talk about it with spoilers. Um, so I'm going to have much more to say then because I'm sitting on my hands to not comment on anything whatsoever. But like every time they do a little nod towards the games, and I refuse to be specific with it because I want people to be pleasantly surprised if you do know the game. Like it's just so damn good. They like ah I want
It's
to say
very,
things, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I refuse.
for me, the equivalent I would draw with it is that it's kind of like Andor for Star Wars, which I don't know why people hate Andor. What who people who hate Andor and are claim to be Star Wars fans, get out. You're not welcome here. But Andor, in my opinion, is one of the best television shows ever made. I will die on that hill. But the cool thing about Andor and the way that it works is that it's set within the Star Wars universe, but you don't really interact with any major Star Wars characters other than like Mon Mothma, who isn't even really a major Star Wars character in the original series.
Hmm.
And so you kind of get this glimpse into this other perspective or this other part of Star Wars, but so many things in the show are direct callbacks, like little things are direct callbacks to the original trilogy or to the prequels or things like that, right? So there's like a character who has an antique store, and in the antique store, there's stuff from the prequels, like Padme's dresses or like
Oh shit.
jewelry or things. Like there's so many little Easter eggs in the show sprinkled throughout that are designed for the people who are diehard fans of it, right? But
Yeah.
theoretically, if you'd never seen Star Wars before, you could still watch Andor and all of the stuff would be explained and it would still be a really good show. And I think Fallout is doing something really similar where although
Hmm.
they're leaning definitely more heavily into stuff in the games, but they're definitely on that same type of thing too where they're like this is a direct callback to something that happens in the games that people who don't play the games won't recognize, but that people who do play the games will, but it doesn't detract from the
You say they're
overarching
leaning pretty heavily on
writing.
it, but honestly, they're not. Like, aside from just like this is the setting that they're drawing it from, they're not like leaning that much on it.
I guess not, although
Like
you haven't
just
seen the most recent episode and I have.
I have heard a thing that I know why you're saying that. Um,
I feel like this season is more
well, I mean, of
toward
course this
plot
season is
points in the
because this
game.
season is set where it is.
Right. But I also think like they're doing such a good job of making it fun for people who love the games to watch while also making it fun for people who've never played the games, because
Hmm.
my concern with so many things like that is that like my gripe, and we talked about this a little bit when we talked about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but my gripe with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie
Hmm.
is that so many things in that movie do not land if you haven't played the games. Like
That's very
or even
fair.
know of the games. And so like if you're going to be making a blockbuster movie or a big budget TV show, you should be able to coherently write something that makes good sense and is appealing to a broad audience beyond just people who've played this video game or this
Okay,
series of video games.
but counter about Five Nights at Freddy's. How much of that is making a movie to be a blockbuster movie versus making a movie that is hopefully going to be good, but also that the fans will appreciate?
I don't know, but I
I
can
think it's more the
confidently
latter.
say, yeah, which is kind of disappointing because I feel like the potential for Five Nights at Freddy's to make as a franchise to make a good movie is there. They just don't.
It was a good
Um,
movie. They were both good movies.
the first one was good. The second one was practically unwatchable if you didn't like the games.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
um, I'm just speaking from the perspective of the entire internet and what they said about it. So, um,
The internet is very
I
frequently loud and wrong.
yes, but also Rotten Tomatoes is largely how things are determined for money purposes. Um,
I'm not making money off
so,
of it.
but
I'm not gonna care about that.
fair enough. But critical consensus of critics who saw that movie was that it was bad, and a lot of people who weren't fans of the game came out of that movie like, "What the hell was happening?" Whereas people who I feel like the first movie was pretty solid.
Ah,
I
yes,
liked the first
because
movie.
I'm gonna listen to the critics because I know so many of them and care about their opinions. Why would that impact my opinion of the movie?
No, I like to know things like that. I think critics are stupid most of the time, but sometimes I like to know what they're saying about things. Sometimes they're educated. Most of the time they're not, but there's an
What?
occasional
I'm
moment.
confused why you're defending the opinion of quote unquote the internet and also critics slash Rotten Tomatoes.
Because, and this is the same topic that I was talking about with the K-pop Demon Hunters thing. I think, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna get shit on for this, but um, I
Possibly
think
by
there
me
is
because I'm in a mood
value.
today.
I think there is value in having a structure to criticize. Not, and when I say criticize, I don't mean like to rag on. I
Yeah,
mean to, I
criticism
guess
isn't
maybe not criticize.
inherently a mean thing. It's also not
Right,
necessarily
to
negative.
evaluate. Right, to evaluate our media. Because without having that kind of discussion and sounding board and things about it, and everyone going, well, this is good because I liked it, I mean, things start to kind of lose value if you don't have at least some gauge to which. And that's not to say, like I said, they're not always correct, but I think it's important when not only like for community and like people at large, but also for yourself to look at, okay, this is the way that the critics view this. That doesn't mean I have to agree with them. This is the way that audiences view this. This is, and then thinking about, well, where do I fit in this, and like, what is my perspective on it, and then being able to kind of curate your own opinions and perspectives on the media that you consume. And I think having those goalposts of like, this is what most people or who are watching this and talking about it on this platform think, this is what people who are supposed to be knowledgeable about this are saying, and going and then reading the reviews too, not just going like, this is the percentage, but like, I thought this and this was good, I didn't think this and this. And I also think it's important because like, and this is just background of someone who used to work in the industry, but you have to know those types of things when you're going to produce new content. So like, what are people enjoying about this? What are people not enjoying about this? How do I improve or make it more desirable the next thing I'm going to produce, whether that be the third Five Nights at Freddy's movie or something completely different,
Hmm.
right? And so I think having metrics for those things is important. And I also think engaging with those metrics is important for society at large, but also for your own consumption of media.
That's all well and good, but I still want to know why you're defending other people's opinions of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie versus your own. Specifically the second one, I mean.
Because I think that whether or not I disliked the movie doesn't like everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Hmm.
And not I always see this thing like everyone's entitled to your opinion, but that doesn't mean your opinion is correct. And I'm like, in my mind, when it comes to things like bad horror movies or TV shows, there's like no such thing as a right or wrong opinion. Like your opinion can align with something that we have deemed as objectively correct, but that's still your opinion aligning with that objectively correct thing, not your opinion is correct. Your opinion is still just your opinion, and I think separating those two things is different. Because, like, my opinion of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was that it was a good time, but it was poorly written. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's objectively correct, but then I build my air quotes objectively correct decision on the movie based off of people online, the critics, all these other things, and then I go, okay, how closely does my opinion connect with that? And then go back and forth from there. So I'm not necessarily defending their opinion per se. I just think that everyone's input, like if we're thinking about it like a statistical study or something, in my academic brain, I go, well, I need as much information as possible to decide whether or not this thing is what everyone is saying it is.
That's
And obviously that's
fascinating and
impossible.
so different from how I think about it. Because, like,
So
to
like
me, I'm
my
asking,
opinion.
like I was saying, like, I don't care what critics are saying about it. I'm telling you what I felt about it and what I think about it. And your your approach to it is to, like, scoop up as much data about it and, like, as many opinions about it and, like, figure out a general consensus of other people and then figure out how you feel about it.
It's not, and then figure out how I feel about it. It's that this is how I feel about it, this is the consensus, and then where do I fall on that spectrum? Because my opinion about it is separate from the consensus. But I also think other people's opinions about it help curate the consensus, right?
Interesting.
Like everyone's perspective on it is what decides whether or not it was a good or a bad movie, right? Including
Interesting.
the critics, including the people who liked it or didn't like it. And this goes for things that I love too, like Avatar, which is why I'm like, okay, that is my favorite movie. I think it's a perfect, the first one, I think it's a perfect movie. Not everyone thinks that. Like, and they're
Yeah.
entitled to not think that. But how do we determine whether or not it was considered, quote, a good movie? Okay, so this many people went to go see it. This many people said it was a good movie. Critics said this about it. How are we? And then combining all of that to then create the
So that
ranking
all
system of
makes
what qualifies
sense
as
to
a good
me.
movie.
That all makes sense to me. But if I'm asking you if you thought it was a good movie or not, I don't care about the general public opinion. Like, I'm asking you what you felt about it, you know?
Right. But I also like to know that because then I can better articulate
Oh, sure,
myself when saying
yeah.
why I thought it was good or bad.
Interesting. Okay, well, thank you, audience, for listening to basically just a the Alex and
Film
I
theory.
no, Alex and I clarifying communication and, like, you were entirely just eavesdropping on a conversation between us. Like, we had a conversation like this last night that was a lot of topics and unrelated, but also just, like, figuring out why you said what you said and, like, how you talk about shit.
Well, and also, this is
Anyway, back to content.
similar to our conversation similar to our conversation last night. This is important for understanding why certain people think about movies in a certain way, or TV shows, or
Hmm.
games, right? And I think that's a huge thread in our show in general,
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah.
So when I talk about whether or not I think something is good, I am measuring it not only based on my own personal experience with it, but also, at least in part, based on other people's reactions to it as well. And talking about when I say something is good, that's what I'm qualifying it as, not just I think it's good, but also so do these other people.
Interesting.
Because like
So
if it's just my opinion, I would say Fallout is incredible, but the gore in it really upsets me. I know that that's part of the game and that's part of the setup of the show, but I don't like that.
that's very fair. Um,
But I also recognize that it's part of the content and what makes it good for other people.
my last four ums have been trying to say something.
Go 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 go.
So speaking of media and personal experiences with it, by the time we record next, I'll have seen Iron Lung. Iron Lung will have come out and I'll have seen it. So, we're
Oh,
not
I'm
beating
saying it on the 31st.
We're not beating the media podcast allegations whatsoever. Not in the slightest.
No. No, because I'm definitely gonna want to talk about that too, probably next
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
Um, because I'm going to see it on the 31st. I have some terrible seats for it. They're like all the way to the side
Oh
and like kind of in the
no.
back.
I got
Well,
pretty damn
so I
good
wasn't.
seats for mine.
I was. It felt like I was in like a Ticketmaster battle for it. I have never bought tickets to a movie that have been so hard to get a hold of. Like, I
Okay,
opened it
not
and I
not to
went
be
to book
like
seats.
not to be like a Markiplier movie ticket hipster, but like I bought tickets when it was still exclusively just independent theaters. So,
Well, so I was going to do that. And then literally like the next day they announced that it was going to be at AMC and I pay for the A-list subscription and then I wouldn't have to pay for the ticket. Yeah. And I also thought, okay, well since I'm paying for the A-list subscription and then I won't have to pay for the ticket, maybe my parents who also pay for the A-list subscription will want to go see this movie.
mm,
My mom probably doesn't want to see it, but she's going anyways.
I think our experiences are going to be really different.
Yeah.
Because like I am so damn sure that I am going to be seeing a movie in a pretty small theater with a bunch of people who genuinely really want to be there and who are probably also
Oh,
fans of Mark.
I can confidently tell you that everybody in that theater wants to be there and is a fan of Mark.
Like if you bought
I
independent theater showings, like that's probably the case,
it
right?
It doesn't matter because it was only showing for 4 days in the theater that I'm going to see it at. And like I said, I was in a Ticketmaster bloodbath type of situation for these tickets. I opened it, tried to book the ticket. So it literally, like AMC has this feature where when you click on the tickets, it will go, sorry, this transaction is not available. These seats have already been taken. I must have done that 6 separate times.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I was literally fighting for my life to get these tickets. And I moved across days. Like it wasn't across
Oh
showings, it was across
shit.
days. And so I literally could not get seats to it. I
Mhm.
don't doubt that it will be full of people who are genuinely there because they want to see that movie and they want to support Mark, which is great. But I also think it's so funny that I booked 2 tickets for my parents who know literally nothing about it. And do not know who Mark is other than when I have occasionally mentioned him. So this is
Mhm.
going to be interesting.
Yup. So when are we gonna
Yeah.
when are we gonna rebrand to being a media talking podcast? Because that's basically what
I
we
thought
are
that that
now.
was already our branding.
I thought our branding was like weekly us yapping about random bullshit and like sometimes stuff from our lives. But apparently we
Unfortunately, we're both in a
exclusively talk about
situation.
media.
Well, unfortunately, we're both in a situation where the only thing we do with our lives is consume media.
That is okay. I was considering video games different from media, but no, they are a form of media.
Look, when we both get jobs and or go back to school again, then we can talk about other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm about to be
That'll be
traveling
nice.
again, so
I'm sure we'll get another
hopefully I'll
banger
have
bone
updates.
collection type episode again.
No, my K-pop Demon Hunters presentation is by far peak episode so
Oh
far. I think that
God,
is the funniest shit we've ever done.
that was so good.
um I'm sure I will have some fascinating stories once I get back into school because I am going again to an international school that has people from all over the world, and that creates some interesting classroom stories
And I
because
mean, also
it's not even
like
like a
the
culture
huge
clash, it's
thing
just
that
literally
is,
like people different.
and just the huge thing that is you moving back to Japan. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be traveling again and stuff, so hopefully that. I'm sure I'll have an anecdote about my 14-hour flight that I can bring up.
yikes.
Ugh. Oof. Don't
Well,
recommend 14-hour flights. I think that's a pretty banger's point to end the episode.
yeah, yeah. So there was something else that we had thought about talking about this episode. Do you still want to do that, or are we just gonna call it here?
Oh, no, I'm gonna make a brief statement about so I don't know if it's not blatantly obvious. Bryn and I both, at this point, live in the United States, and we are
Tragically,
both,
yes.
yeah, U.S. citizens. So, and I don't know if you can't tell about the everything about us or the way that we talk about things or stuff, but we're obviously not in support of the current administration or ICE. And I just wanted to make that abundantly clear. And I
Yeah, man,
also
it's made
wanted
this weather
to,
just so bad. Like, I live in Texas and it's freezing here.
and I also wanted to make this statement because, and I've done this before on my YouTube channel, but I think it's important that we acknowledge what's going on right now
Mm-hmm.
and are open about that this is wrong. Um, for so many reasons that I don't really want to get into on this show because that's an entirely separate episode and also probably requires like an economist and a psychologist and a
Yeah.
sociologist and other like things that I am not equipped to talk about. But I
We
want
are
to
in no way any sort of qualified expert. Um,
know, but we also
and honestly, I thought
are not.
it would almost go without saying that like I don't think we should have to say that the situation is bad and fucked up. Um,
Yeah, but I also think it's important to
but yeah,
acknowledge
in case there was
the
any doubt of how we feel about things, things are bad here. They shouldn't be this way.
things and fuck ice.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
So,
Fuck
um,
ice.
both the weather phenomenon and the government
Hey,
organization.
no, again, I do live in Texas, and what weather ice we have, like, I am so happy that we have it. Aside from the freezing pipes and questionable power, like, I'm just happy to see cold temperatures.
But I also want to have like a moment of acknowledgement for the people who ICE has um, killed and who have died trying to protect immigrants and our First Amendment, our constitutional rights, and
Mm-hmm.
our like so society as a whole. I think like it's important that we acknowledge them.
Yeah.
So Alex Preddy and Renee Good and there's like 25 other people whose names I do not have on the top of my head because I didn't pull up a list, but I'll link it for the YouTube video. I'll link a page in the description and recognizing that like acknowledging what's happening. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's kind of all I had to say on it. I just do genuinely think I want my stance on this, our stance on this, to be
Yeah.
abundantly clear.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I know
Thanks, guys.
I know I
Sorry
just
for
let you
that really
do most of that.
depressing.
I know I just let you do most of that talking. But also you're the one who does outros, so good luck with that.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to that, for that little soapbox moment. Thanks for listening to the show overall. I hope that the beginning of it was significantly more fun and entertaining than the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I hope to see more people on stream and on YouTube next week. We do
Yeah.
stream every Wednesday and we upload every Thursday at 3 p.m. on my YouTube channel, That Lazy Snail. But we stream on Politely Parasocial on Twitch.
Yep.
And
Also,
if you
if
ever
you
come up with a topic that you want us to yap about, leave a comment. And leave a comment if you've seen
Oh my
Fallout and
god,
you like
viewer
it.
submissions.
Yeah.
Audience engagement. Also,
And
if
if you
you
like this video, oh, go ahead.
God damn
I
it.
keep cutting you off on accident. I keep cutting you off on accident. What were you gonna say?
um if you like listening to us yap and banter and such, lately we've been streaming video games together on Snail's Twitch channel. I'm bad at self-promotion. But yeah,
Yeah,
we play
we
game.
we stream on my channel. We stream on my channel. We stream Frontiers of Pandora, but occasionally I also hop on Bryn's channel, Transmutation,
Yeah,
when
you
she's
bullied me
playing
into
things like
streaming.
Hollow Knight or
That was something
other
we were going to
stuff.
talk about at some point, the fact that you made me start streaming.
Next week, it'll have to be a next week topic. But yes,
I
if you
never
liked
thought we'd
this
be
episode,
podcasting enough that we're running out of time to talk about the ideas we have for
once a
episodes.
week, baby.
Yeah.
Uh, um, once a week. And if you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel or follow us here on Twitch.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Uh, oh god, I forgot I turned my mouse off because of the stupid do not disturb alerts. God damn it. This is a clumsy
Cursed.
outro.
Cursed.